Now I'd like to bring on to the stage, on the virtual stage, I'd like to bring Abel and Jack from Aurecon and GHD respectively, and they're going to do a presentation on nitrogen credit markets. So again, another really interesting conversation around two-sided markets. So please join us on the virtual stage. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. On the right-hand side, you can see a picture of Moreton Bay and the Brisbane River flowing into it. As well, you can see the sediment and nutrient problems developing over time. This is a ticking time bomb of an issue, and business as usual won't fix it. Utilities are spending $1 billion in capital compliance in the coming years, and the problem won't be improved. So environmental market is the best solution to fix this problem. Next slide, thanks. So why environmental markets? Because they make real change. On the right-hand side, you can see a 2-kilometre section of Bow Desert, which was restored. They allow for the green economy. So at Bow Desert, instead of doing a business as usual sewage treatment plant, a lot of steel, a lot of concrete, a lot of CO2, you can actually get these nature-based solutions to come out and to be valued. And they're cost-effective because they actually bring the buyers and sellers together, and you can actually look at all the pros and cons. So the business as usual was an $8 million STP versus $1 million for 2-kilometre restoration. Next slide, thanks. And so the value proposition behind environmental markets are quite strong because they look at the environmental, the social, the economic, and foundational aspects. And these applications can be applied further. So if you look in Queensland, you can look at the Great Barrier Reef and legacy mines, but also in developing areas where they don't have the resources to actually start kickstarting these solutions. Next slide. And
Thanks,
Abel will now
Jack.
talk. Thanks, Abel.
So this is where the real impact sets in. So we talk about real change, but there's also real impact, and that's across environmental, economic, and social aspects of it. Because what markets do is they do 3 things: connection, competition, and co-creation. So you connect the system. So it's not just about one element of the issue, but you connect the system. You connect buyers and sellers and enablers. That is including innovators and investors. And then through this ecosystem, you co-create solutions, sustainable solutions, and you unlock capital and value for money solutions. So think of the Innovate for Water. This is a marketplace that's brought innovators and investors together to solve water challenges. What we're proposing is a market, an environmental market that solves the nutrient problem. All the sediment that's going to the bay has to be capped. And markets are places where these buyers and sellers can realize the benefits of production and consumption. So whether it's eBay or carbon markets or nutrient markets, this is what it does. It unlocks that value. Imagine a world without markets, which is what we're experiencing today in the COVID scenario. And that's what we're trying to create, is a market that enables this value to be unlocked. Over to you, Jack.
And so underpinning all this is the business model. So as Abel was saying before, a cap has to be placed, and that's based around this limited capacity. And once scarcity is created, this is what unlocks this value. And once these credits are created, you can actually use or trade these, and you need an evaluation criteria within the market rules. And then you need a decision support system, which actually brings in these buyers and sellers. So once they're together, how do you verify this trade? And then how do you actually start allowing this trade to occur? And then on top of all this, you actually need a governance framework. So you need an owner, an operator, the rules in place, and how do you actually have the geotechnical, the engineering solutions behind all this? Back to you, Abel.
This is about the people that made this happen. And in order to make a market work, you do need to have structure, you need to have people, and you need to have the science to back it up. Next slide. So our journey started 3 years ago. We developed the concept. We co-designed this whole minimum viable product of a pilot market with over 100 people involved in it. We included governments, utilities, private sector, and consultants working together to create a pilot proposal. Next slide. These are some of our partners: water utilities, insurance companies that are going to underwrite these green assets that are created. Nature-based solutions have to appear on your balance sheet, which means they have to be insured. Technology and science providers. Next slide. So this is what we need. We need a seed grant of $300,000 to create this pilot project and work it for the next couple of years. So it needs a trading platform. It's like an eBay for nutrients, a trial steering group to oversee this process, an independent auditor to see that market rules are actually applying and working well. We need to develop a paper on how does the government create a cap and how does it regulate that. And we want to engage with impact investors across social, economic, and environmental sectors to try and bring them together and create this market. So just like Innovate for Water is a market for innovation, the environmental market is the market for environmental and nutrient benefits. So thank you very much.
That was a fantastic presentation. I love the fact that we have so much innovation and so much mind, so thinking about how we create liquidity in marketplace for impact investment.